Accessibility unlocking our potential. Hearing impairments. Approximately 15% of American adults, which is 37.5 million, aged 18 and over report some trouble hearing. About 2 to 3 out of every 1,000 children in the United States are born with a detectable level of hearing loss in one or both ears. 3 types of hearing loss. Conductive. This involves the outer or middle ear. Sensory neural involves the inner ear. And mixed is a combination of the two. We're in this together. People living with challenge and succeeding. Millie Bobby Brown, born February 19, 2004. Millie is deaf in one ear, born with partial hearing loss, which then turned into full deafness due to following years of tubes. She doesn't always hear the director's action cue when shooting a scene unless it's loud. Most famous for her role as Eleven in Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown shot to fame as a teenager and is now a renowned actor, model, and producer. With over 45 million Instagram followers, the 18-year-old is not one to shy away from the spotlight. But her hearing impairment is one thing many fans don't know about her. Helen Keller, born June 27, 1880, died June 1, 1968. Helen Keller overcame the adversity of being deaf and blind to become one of the 20th century's leading humanitarian. She is a perfect example of how determination, hard work, and imagination can allow an individual to triumph over adversity by overcoming difficult conditions with a great deal of persistence. She grew into a respected and world-renowned activist. She is renowned for defying all odds to accomplish great things despite being both deaf and blind. Marlee Matlin, born August 24, 1965. Marlee Matlin is one of the most well-known deaf celebrities. When she was only 18 months old, Matlin suffered from deafness caused by severe illness with high fevers. By the time she was 21, she won an Academy Award for the film Children of a Lesser God in 1986. Being the only deaf actor/actress to win the award to date. In 2008, Matlin participated in Dancing with the Stars. Ludwig van Beethoven, born December 1770, died March 26, 1827. Ludwig van Beethoven is one of the most famous composers that ever lived. He was profoundly deaf, but that didn't stop him from composing his world-renowned music. After experiencing buzzing noises when he was 26, Beethoven had lost 60% of his hearing by the age of 31, and became completely deaf by the age of 46. Beethoven continued to write music even when deaf, as he learned how instruments and voices sounded. He also continued to perform publicly in symphonies as a conductor. Kitty O'Neill, born March 24, 1946, died November 2, 2018. Known as the fastest woman in the world, Kitty O'Neill was an American stuntwoman who competed in many land and water races. She made her move to performing stunts for films in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, including The Bionic Woman, Smokey and the Bandit 2, The Blues Brothers, and one of her most well-known performances is her portrayal as Wonder Woman's stunt double when she temporarily replaced her usual stunt double for a particularly dangerous stunt. Thomas Edison, born February 1847, died October 18, 1931. Thomas Alva Edison was incredibly hard of hearing and often called himself deaf. The cause of his hearing loss is unclear, but Edison sometimes attributed it to being picked up by the ears as a young child. Although he reportedly worked on a hearing aid, designed and tested other inventors' hearing aids, Edison saw the advantage to hearing loss. The absence of outside noise allowed him to concentrate more fully on his work. Derek Coleman Jr., born October 18, 1990. Former NFL star Derek Coleman started his sports career playing fullback at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. He has said that he had spent a lot of time not being picked because he was deaf. Coleman lost his hearing at the age of 3 from what was thought to be a genetic disorder. He wears 2 hearing aids and started his professional football career using a pantyhose his mother cut up and placed over his ears to keep his hearing aids in while playing. Myth. Everyone with hearing loss uses sign language and reads lips. Fact. Hearing loss is a spectrum. The majority of people with hearing loss do not use sign language, but it is still important to those whose communication depends on it. Types of hearing impairments. Ear infections. These infections create a buildup of fluid that may interfere with the movement of the eardrum, which in turn impacts hearing ability. Allergies and colds are also common temporary causes of hearing loss. In this case, seek treatment for the infection and practice healthy sleeping and eating habits to aid in the healing process. Swimmer's ear is another type of infection that may cause reduced or muffled hearing. Head trauma. A physical injury to the head or brain is another possible cause of hearing loss. Depending on the level of damage, an audiologist will be able to recommend the proper treatment available. Age. Hearing loss can occur when the structures and functions of the inner ear slowly begin to decline with age. Approximately 1 in 3 people in the United States between the ages of 65 and 74 have age-related hearing loss. By age 75, the hearing loss in population increases to half. While age-related hearing loss cannot be reversed, using hearing protection and avoiding exposure to loud sounds can help. There are also many assistive listening devices that can help make everyday tasks easier. Excessive exposure. Noise-induced hearing loss, or NIHL, occurs from exposure to sounds at dangerous decibel levels. It can have temporary or permanent effects, occur suddenly or over time, and could impact one or both ears. The danger zone for most people starts about 85 decibels. At this sound level, using hearing protection and limiting exposure is essential. Ruptured eardrums. A ruptured eardrum, also known as a tympanic membrane, can be a severe but treatable condition that may lead to hearing loss and other hearing problems. The ruptured eardrum may occur due to noise exposure, sudden pressure changes, or infection. Prompt attention by a doctor or audiologist will help to determine the best course of treatment. Earwax buildup. An excessive buildup of earwax can block the ear canal and temporarily prevent conduction of sound waves. As a result, hearing may seem muffled. A doctor or audiologist can safely remove the buildup, which may help restore all or most hearing. Inner or middle ear diseases. Certain conditions in the inner ear or middle ear can also cause hearing loss. Otosclerosis, a middle ear disease, makes it harder for tiny bones in the middle of the ear to move and is often treated with surgery. Meniere's disease occurs in the inner ear and may cause dizziness and a ringing in the ear, while rare autoimmune inner ear diseases can also cause hearing loss. Assistive technologies. Assisted listening devices, or ALDs, help amplify the sounds you want to hear, especially when there's a lot of background noise. ALDs can be used with a hearing aid or cochlear implant to help the wearer hear certain sounds better. Argumentative and alternative communication. Devices help people with communication disorders to express themselves. These devices can range from a simple picture board to a computer program that synthesizes speech from text. Altering devices connect to a doorbell, telephone, or alarm that emits a loud sound or blinking light to let someone with a hearing loss know that an event is taking place. A cochlear implant is an electronic device that partially restores hearing. It can be an option for people who have severe hearing loss from inner ear damage, who are no longer helped by using hearing aids. Closed captioning in video and broadcast media allows people with hearing difficulties to better follow the subject matter. In addition to providing a text version of dialogue, closed captions often include descriptions of sound effects and background music.